sees themselves as somebody that does what they want and that the group has no pressure on them. The truth is that human beings are wired toward associating herd, a similarity and approval as survival. And so going against the herd actually feels like death to your subconscious brain. Your conscious brain might be like, your conscious brain thinks of itself as completely no one's fool. But your subconscious brain is completely controlled by other factors, a lot of which is repetition. Your subconscious sees a lot of images throughout the day that it catalogs, and it thinks, oh, the herd is doing this. Oh, the herd right now, everyone's doing this. They're drinking coffee, they're going to jobs, they're drinking alcohol, they're wearing masks. So it registers that. And yeah, your conscious brain might say, I'm not going to do any of that. But there's a pull, there's a tug. And there's no shame or blame. I mean, we have that saying of, what if your friends told you to jump off a cliff, would you? And you would. You would. The human brain is wired toward fitting in with the group even more than its own self-interest, self-survival, because it interprets the group safety as living, as security, as survival, right? And so the reason I bring this up is I've been having a lot of fear and anxiety built up because I do not want to get the V, and I have my reasons, my medical history, and my medical freedom to choose what I want to do, right? I have an opinion about it, and it's no one's business. It's what I in my soul feel right about doing. I don't want to do it, but I have one of my best friends is going to move to my location in the summer, and she and I had a FaceTime, and she told me that she got the V, and again she had that that attitude of that it's the best thing you can do, and how she was watching it fervently, waiting for it to be, and she lives in that reality, and I completely sympathize and empathize with how she lives in that reality of believing it is the way into back to normal. She constantly said, well, now we're going to be back to normal. My other very close friend who lives right here also always uses that. Well, after the V, then we'll go back to normal, and then we'll do this, and I can't wait, right? And I have my own opinion, and I have my own safety and desires, and that I don't buy into that particular movie. Do I reveal that I don't buy into it? No, because I don't feel safe revealing that. I don't feel safe revealing that, even if I have all good reasons, and I know that people won't respond to the reasons. I know people are, I just know that they will already put me in the box of danger in a way, and then that kind of this idea of I have to convince her, and then I'll be fodder where they'll talk to other people, and they'll be like, well, Sam doesn't want to do that, can you believe it? Oh, she's a conspiracy theorist. They'll have a whole dialogue about it, and I'm not any of those things. I have a right to choose what I want for myself. I'm not getting in the way of you choosing what you want to do, but I already feel this tug of that group. I even see them amongst themselves. They'll get acquainted and say, well, what can we do to get Sam to do it so she's safe? We're just so worried about her because we don't think she's safe. Because that's how and that's what the brainwashing and the campaign for this particular V is already going to start labeling people that are hesitant. There's already the connotation of they're dangerous. You've got to convince them or get away from them. There's already, and then they're going to eventually have it, well, we can't go back to normal because it's those people that didn't get back V. Those people are the reason we're hung down. I already see that long term. I see the propaganda of today, and I see how it can escalate. I have read extensively on it. I just have a different level, a different movie that I live in, a different reality where I see things in a different way, okay? I understand that they see things in one way, but I have this, it's like this kind of Titanic timer, this water kind of, you know when you hear water kind of creeping in because it's coming up and it's going to flood. There's this kind of, it's that tug of the group, how, they're going to all start getting this, and then they're going to have an idea of me, and I don't want to be put in the position of pressure of even this weird interrogation where they'll all be thinking they're just in their heart, they're just trying so hard to keep me safe and healthy. Like I see it going that way because I see how their mind works with it, and I see the propaganda, and I even work. I mean, I work with writing, and the repetitive messaging that I've seen with this is so persuasive. It's hacked into the subconscious mind, and they're not going to be receptive. They're so, I wish they would, and I should maybe try to talk to them. It's just that I don't see the point. It's my decision. I'm sick of this coercion. I'm sick of this, if I see it a different way, if I see what's going on, that's my business, and my medical history is my business. My medical freedom is my business, and so many other people think like me, but I currently, in my current friend group, it's especially with my good friend moving here, it puts this level of almost eyes on me, where they're going to assume things just because of my decision. And I don't really even want to get into my decision, but I know how people think, and I'm just trying to navigate it because I've had nightmares, I've had fear, anxiety. I haven't had a very good week thinking about it ever since my really good friend told me I got it, the first one, and I'm also coming in June. I just really, I don't want to be coerced. I don't want people watching me. I don't want to be fodder because I'm not. I don't want to be watched. I don't want to have any of that. I really like my privacy, and I like to live with to each their own. And I also like to have freedom to choose what I feel is right. And I'll even say, I may be wrong about it, but this is my truth and my level of safety and what I most want to do, and I will not be told or persuaded or coerced right now. I want to be free to make that decision for myself, and I don't want this level of, because I see the current propaganda is acting like, well, as soon as you get the vaccine, then you get to go indoors. It's like, you can go indoors now. Right now, you can go indoors to a lot of places in certain states, and I don't like this control of you do this and then you get to have some freedom. Well, I've been living healthy, and I haven't had any sickness. I haven't been sick all year, and I don't choose to do this, and I don't like this ever mounting feeling, and I'm working on being strong, because I really want my friends to do what they feel, and they obviously feel safe with it. But I don't want them telling me what I should feel safe, and I just want you to be safe, Sam. I can already see it. Like, I already have imagined conversations of how they'll react to my decision. And I don't tell them my decision now, because I'm trying to build up a level of resilience and strength, and also I would really like to meet other people who are like-minded, so I know people who are like-minded, but not in my current vicinity. And so it's just a scary mounting feeling to feel as though you might, what it is it's this feeling like you might abandon yourself, or you might pretend to have, like I would just love to have the thing that makes it look like I have it, like the certificate, I would just like that, but then not to have it, just so that I can not deal with any of this bullshit, right? That's the thing, is it's already creating people turning against each other and being watchers and othering each other, looking at each other with this level of othering, with this level of demonization, and with this level of ultimately dehumanization. I mean, the way that Hitler first initially dehumanized the Jews is by saying they were diseased. And so I do not like this creep, this very, the totalitarian tiptoe is another thing, and then this kind of coercive creeping about the V is really creepy. And and here's, let's be clear too, when I'm saying I'm worried about betraying myself, it's not that I think that I'll do it. I really don't want to do it. I feel like it's more that I fear I'll have the lie of, or I'll have I mean, I really don't, because it's more that I just don't want to be perceived as it, because I don't want to be fodder, and I don't want to deal with them giving it more thought. Like, I want to just be a blip on someone's radar where they're not like looking and thinking, oh, is she somebody we need to go have an interrogation because she's not being safe, you know? And it's a creepy thing, and then people think, well, why not just get it? It's safe and effective. They'll say the phrase that has been repetitively drummed into their subconscious brain, that they think, because they haven't ever, I mean, they just think, well, of course I've had that repetitive message, and that's just the truth. I take that as truth. I don't live in that paradigm. I don't live in that reality. I don't live in an either or. I don't live in that movie. So if you are not willing to see my movie, please, I understand your movie because I know exactly where it's coming from. It's like I see the Puppet Master. I see the Wizard of Oz. So I can't even subscribe to the level. I can't. It's like seeing somebody be manipulated by a narcissist, and you've already dated them and know their whole. You've already fallen for their hook, line, and sinker, and you're done. You know. But then it's like I don't want to be talking to them as though I think that they're brainwashed, because even though I do, when you talk to somebody like that, they just, of course they would. They just turn right off because you're insulting them and you're insulting their intelligence, and that's getting into their ego. And again, it's like, it's just that I know I can be brainwashed, I can be manipulated, I can be a fool, I can be very dumb. And so I am able to see that in myself, and I'm able to see it in others. And in this particular case, I hope that I've been brainwashed by conspiracy theories. I hope that it's not what I fear it is. But I live in the reality where I am scared of it, and I have my reasoning, and it isn't based on theories. It's based on a lot of facts. And they also, though, they also have their movie and their fears, and it is based on their perceptions. And so how do we navigate this? How do we navigate this kind of worry about us jumping off the cliff with our friends? And it's not that I worry I'll do it, it's that I worry about thinking about what they're thinking, and thinking about what they're saying about me, and thinking about if they're going to try to like do some weird forceful, and they can't, and hopefully they just go on with their lives and leave me alone. But there's another element where the propaganda almost encourages them, like, go after, like, make sure you convince your friends that they're safe and healthy, and this is safe and effective. It's almost like I worry about them becoming almost these little, they almost become more aggressive in their approach, because they're almost like they're triggered, like they're almost in mind control. They're almost like given a key word, and then it's like they go and, you know. And I know that sounds crazy. I know that is crazy, but it's just that feeling, you know. And it's always in those scary movies when somebody believes something, and then everyone kind of pounces on them to believe something else. That kind of pressure, that gaslighting. It's not something I want to deal with, and that's why I don't bring it up. But I've got to work on me owning what my truth is, and me owning what my sense of safety is, instead of letting them, they don't define reality just because they just because they haven't investigated their perceptions doesn't mean that their reality is right. My perceptions are valid and my reality is valid, and my sense of what I want to do with my medical self, my body, my mind, my freedom, that's up to me. It's not up to the group. And so anyway, it's really hard. It's really hard to navigate it. There's a lot of fear and there's a lot of anxiety, especially when it feels like everyone's kind of, when everyone seems like they're on that side, and you might lose all your friends, or you might just lose a sense of community. You hope not, and then at the same time, I'm prepared for that, because that's how I don't like the level of coercion. I don't like this level of propaganda, and I view it as coercive, and really, I view it that way. And I'm not going to go back and just be a lobotomized Pollyanna believing otherwise, because I just can't go back to that level of being asleep. In some ways, that's why, when you're awake, you just can't just be like a dummy. And I hate that I say that, but you can't go back to that level of just kind of tacit acceptance, because you believe what you believe. You have a new level. You're on a new level of consciousness where you're like, no, and so it's tough to navigate, and it's tough to even talk on here, but I'm just kind of trying to sort it out and do the best I can, and I want to not betray myself, and I want to tell the truth, and I want to tell my truth and do what I want to do. And I'm really worried. I have a fear of the future. I have a fear of the world kind of strapping me in to a reality that I don't want.